Hey, what's up guys? So welcome to my first YouTube video. This is probably going to be my last because I'm doing this for a project for school. So basically, this video is about my improvement journey on my three-pointers and my floater percentage. So my goal was to get at least 30 to 40% out of 100 on my three-pointers in at least one or two trials in a row, obviously. And for my floaters, it was to get around 60 to 70% out of 100. So like 70 makes or 60 makes. So for my 3-point slash floater percentage journey, I practiced every single day, worked out every single day, and I went out as much as I could, obviously, so that I could see what percentages I was shooting, how I could improve them. I used multiple sources to improve as efficient as possible. And throughout it, I actually started to see progress, and you'll see that in the video once I show you. So here we go. Okay, so for the first day of my project, I shot pretty badly. I shot 28 out of 100, which is a 28% shooting percentage, which at any level of basketball, whether it be high school, college, or NBA, that's not a good shooting percentage at all. So it was near my goal, which was 30 to 40%, but I thought that I could shoot better than that from the start, so it was kind of disappointing to see that's how I started. But you will see throughout the project that I'll continue to improve and do better than this. So for my first day, 28 out of 100, pretty average, not that good, but we'll go on and see. So now, this is day 1 of my floaters. So, oh, by the way, that's just my friend at the side shooting around with me, because it gets boring practicing alone, so it's always good to have a buddy with you. But anyways, for my first day of floaters, I did pretty decent. I got 50, I'm pretty sure 54 out of 100, and my goal is 60 out of 70, which was really good as a start for me, because floaters have always been the thing that I've been worst at. So it was good to see that I started out pretty well when I was focused, and it showed that all the sources that I had really did help, and they improved my floaters just like that without me having to take time to practice or any of that. So it was great to see the improvement already. In these videos, you can see the things I would just do at home when, like, for example, because this was during the winter, so sometimes it would be too cold outside and I just have to stay home. I would stay home practicing my shooting form, and right here you can see my floater form. I was just practicing because in the sources it tells me not to flick my wrist. It tells me to keep my wrist straight and give it a soft touch. So yeah, this is just what I would do at home. So this is day 10 of my 3-point shooting. I'm not going to show you every single day because obviously that would take up way too much time. So anyways, this is day 10, and I had already shown a lot of improvement, and believe it or not, I had surpassed my goal. Now I was shooting 34%. I shot 34% today, and my goal was originally 30 to 40%, so I was just seeing if I can improve any more, and you'll see even further improvement on later days. So today was a pretty decent day for shooting. I mean, I surpassed my goal, so I'm satisfied with the results, but I still wanted to go further. So to get stronger, I would do incline push-ups, diamond push-ups, as you can see right here. I would do wide push-ups, and I would also do just standard push-ups. And getting stronger helped more with my control when I was shooting. So this was my last day of my floaters. This was day 26 of my floaters before I had to start editing my video. And on this day, I got an amazing 46 out of 50 floaters, which was 92%. 92% is the highest that I'd ever gotten on floaters. The previous day, I had gotten 90%. So it wasn't a fluke. It was I was getting better consistently over time. So now, as all my sources and everything I had worked on had actually helped me improve. And I'll be listing my sources in the video at the end, and I'll also be talking about them to show what parts of it helped me. This was day 25, which was my last day of my three-point shooting. And on the last day, I got 18 out of 50, which was 36%, which was the highest I'd ever gotten. I averaged around, in this project, I averaged around 34% when I started getting better over time. And on my last day, I did my best percentage, which was 36. And I finally saw all the improvement that I wanted to see, because my goal was anywhere from 30 to 40% shooting percentage. But now that I was consistently shooting 34 to 35%, I was getting really happy, because I started out at 28% on my first day, and all these sources were actually helping out. So now I'm going to tell you all about my sources. So the two most helpful sources that I got were my first two sources. So those are the ones that I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to get right into it. So my two tips that were the most helpful on my floater source, which was on a website called stack.com, it was working on high ball release and developing a super soft touch. So for the working on a high ball release, you want to release the ball as high as possible from your arm. So like if you have the ball in your palm, you want to release it with your arm fully extended, because it gives you less distance for the ball to have to travel, and it puts more power into the ball, so you don't have to focus on control as much, and it helps you control the ball better as well. And it also, the most helpful part about it is that when somebody's defending you, the higher you release the ball, the harder it is for them to block the shot. And for the second tip on the source, it says start by developing a soft touch. So basically, if the shot is within 10 to 12 feet from the basket, it requires a soft touch, because the softer your touch, the higher your arc will be. And a low arc shot has to be a straight up swish, or it'll bounce out the rim. So a high arc shot gives you more likely to get that lucky bounce, so that the ball still enters the rim at the end. And it also helps you so that the defender will have to jump higher. Similar to how there's a higher ball release, the softer touch will give you a higher arc, so that it makes it more difficult for the defender to be able to block it. And for my three-point source, all four tips that were on that source were all equally as helpful. So this was also on a website called stack.com. And so but the tips were to get your work done before the ball gets to you, which means you want to be in a triple threat. You want to be squatted down. You want to have your form ready, so that when they pass you the ball, all you have to do is turn and then shoot the ball, right? And then the second tip is having a strong base and jumping straight up and down. So you don't want to jump to the side, obviously, because then you're going to have to put more power into it. If you jump straight up and down, you just come up, you shoot, and you come back down, so it doesn't affect your aim. It doesn't hurt it. Like, it doesn't make your aim worse. And then tip 3 is to shoot consistently. Make sure you're shooting the same way every time. So focus on your form. Practice your form at home, stuff like that, so that you know that you're shooting the same way the same time. And then finally is to finish your shot. So what I mean by finish your shot is that you want to hold your form and stay in your shot like this until the ball makes or misses. Because the goal is to land in the same spot from where you jumped. And this will help you determine if your body is squared on the shot. Because if your body is squared on the shot and you land in the same spot you were landing with your form up, your hand will be aligned with the shot. And if you keep looking at that to see if your aim was actually on point, it'll help you consistently improve your shot, because it'll give you a muscle memory of how you're supposed to shoot your shot. So this is the end of my YouTube video. I hope my video helped you. I went through all my sources. I went through everything that I did to help get me better at shooting and doing my floaters. And I hope it helped you in the same way that it helped me. If it did help you, maybe let me know down in the comments below. And thank you. By the way, I apologize for the watermark, but it has to be there because of the editing software I used. It's necessary for the watermark to be there for me not to get copywritten.